Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Cho. We are back with another Crystal of Atlan banger, and today we get to test the two-piece filth set. Now I thought about it, I was like, I didn't make a video for the first filth piece I got because I didn't feel like the first one by itself was significant enough to do like a test. So it kind of acted really as a placeholder, but now that I got the second filth piece, which is the filth ring, the necklace and the ring together should be a pretty nice boost. So we're gonna test that today. I know it's Tuesday. You guys are probably wondering where I get the disc from. Well, the current event that's going on right now, the Maple Gifts, I was able to get 180 from farming today's dailies. And so with that, we're able to pick up 10 more of these disc things right here. And boom, we now have enough tear stained mirrors to get our boom. So we need to pick up the 3 mil, but we are ready. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be testing my damage. I wanna see where I'm at. We're just gonna do a rotation. And then tomorrow is going to be huge because we're gonna be doing quite a few upgrades. I'm gonna do my 70K video because I am super close. And I know that when I'm doing my upgrades, I'm going to hit 70K. So there's gonna be my 70K video. There's gonna be this one, and there's gonna be the next Golden Fleets where I'm cracking 2 bill, I don't care. Matter of fact, I need to start reaching for like 2.5 or something because the damage is gonna be insane. And then we have the new raid that's coming out. So it's a great week for content. So anyways, let's do our damage test. All right, so we're here in the training ground. We are going to, all right, I'm already dealing damage. We're just gonna reset the battlefield. Okay, can I get far enough to where I'm not dealing damage? Okay, there we go. So because of filth, right? Filth makes it to where when I'm near somebody, and this is why it works so well. So the necklace makes it to where if I'm even near somebody, they're gonna get hit with the filth debuff, right? And then once they get hit with that filth debuff, the ring is automatically in effect to where I gain 5% crit, 10% crit damage, and 8% damage to poison enemies. And yes, the filth debuff does count as poisoned, and so you already get all this crazy damage increase. So this is why the damage test is going to be so good, because the damage increase is going to be right away. So you know, that's why I like the filth and the ring so well together, because one activates the other instantly, and you gain those increases from beginning to end. They don't go away. So yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. So I'm just gonna dash and do my regular combo, no silhouette resets, right? So here we go. Making sure I use everything. All right, we're about 574 million. I must say, since I started doing these tests, my damage has gotten higher and higher and higher. So I'm kind of proud of myself. I've done some more changes to my character, but I'll show you those in my 70K video. So 70K video, I talk about how I, you know, increase my power and things that I've done to get to 70K, and you know, things that you can do. And but of course, the more focus is on your character, not really your power. So, but man, I'm really proud of the strides that I've made to get stronger. All right, we're gonna do it again. All right, that was 637. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're gonna reset. Try again. And we just want to get it to where it's consistent as possible. No cat resets or anything like that. Okay, 630. So my DPS is around 630, 637. I want to say that's about right. Let's try it again just to be sure. Boom, 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 boom. 640. Okay, so 630, 635, right? I'd say that's a good average. That's a good placement for my damage right now. Okay, so we're gonna leave here. And why do I always click the wrong thing? Oh my god. I switch the mouse and keyboard when I do minor stuff. Okay, so that's a good place. So 635, right? And I think that's a good place because, you know, we shoot around that same damage when we do our combo the way that it's supposed to. Now, I'm gonna premise this by saying, yeah, okay, so is that my combo that I'm going to perform when I'm in battle? No. Does it have silhouette resets? No. All I'm doing is doing a situation where I'm doing a combo that I can then copy so that I can compare damage. I just want them to be as similar as possible. So I make it as simple as possible. So I know all of you are, some of you still comment, bro, did you know that you can blah, blah, blah? Yes, I'm fully aware, but it's just a test, okay? So, and testing is fun. That's why I do it. You know, the real test is on the battlefield, right? So the damage that I do in raids, the increased damage that I continue to do in TOF Legendary, the damage that I'm going to be doing in the new raid, that's where the real like testing is. So I'm fully aware of that. So the things that I do in Golden Fleece, the things that I do in training, is more for fun. So I enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy it too. Anyways, so now let me pull my gold. Chat, if you're not farming with your assassin, then you're missing out on 5% gold, okay? So you can get a grand total of 20% gold by utilizing your assassin, getting the gold buff, and using a gold potion when you farm. And you know, 20% is a lot, especially over a course of a long time. So make sure you're taking full advantage, and you're, you know, getting the most out of your runs, because when we start to talk about like how to, you know, optimize and how to get the most out of your resources, 20% is a lot better than 0. And there was a huge amount of time where I wasn't doing none of the increases. So I'm losing out on 20% gold every single day. All right, so we're upgrading our ring, paying 3 mil. It's gonna increase our rating. We can compare, right? So this is what I'm gaining. So I'm gaining about 50 power total, okay? I'm gaining 2% damage, 2% crit damage, 3% magic pen, and then I'm gaining the effects of 5% crit, 5% crit damage, and 8% to poison enemies, which is insane when you consider what I'm gaining. So we're gonna level up. Let's do it. Yeah, you can't mess up your hammer on that, Glenn. Stupid Glenn. Chat, when I tell you I was enhancing on stream yesterday, and I went 6 out of 6, 2 out of the 3 stars. And the first star, so it was fail safe 6. I went 6 out of 6 on the 3rd star, 6 out of 6 on the 2nd star, 5 out of 6 on the 1st star. And like, I was just, it cost so much gold. And I'm like, bro, this is just for my necklace. Like, what the hell's going on? So that was frustrating. But anyways, so same thing. We don't have any, you know, buffs. So, oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I messed up because I have crit. Oh no, I messed up the test. Ugh, I messed up the test. Okay, so how did I mess up the test? Because the crit's not going to be in effect. That's okay. That's okay. So we just got to consider that. We know that the crit is not going to make a difference, but it is. But still, let's see. But you guys saw that I low-key messed up the test because my crit was maxed out on the first one based on the settings, and that's not where I was wondering why my damage was looking kind of high. Okay, let's go. Ready? Oh, we messed all that up. Hold on, wait. Wait, I didn't even activate my main skill. Okay, let's try that again. Ready? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, much better. Wow. Wow. So 626. We are, wow. That is insane. So that is insane, actually. We are where we were with 25% extra crit. We're dealing that much damage. We were at 635 on average, really? And now we're at like 626, which is insane. Holy crap. Okay, hold on. Try it again. Yeah, about 620 there, which is actually insane. Let's try it again. Yeah, 628 on that one. Wow. Problem is that we don't know where we were before. That's the only issue. It's a pretty big issue, I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially for a damage testing. And there's no way for me to revert. Oh God, what happened there? See? You see how much, so why is my damage less on that one? Well, sometimes, right? So to make it make sense to you, so the way that it works is like you have crit rate. You see that I am at 80%. Okay, well, let me put filth on. Okay, so now he has filth on, right? That automatically raises my crit to 85. See that? So I now factor in the fact that I have 85% crit and almost 200% crit damage when I just enter the battlefield, which is fantastic. That's why my damage is really showing. But that still means that you have the 15% chance to no crit. So with this, I'm not getting the full effect of my Tenebris, right? And if you get unlucky and that 15% hits a lot of times in a rotation, then that could really lower the amount of damage you do. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you saw that rotation end up being like 578 in comparison to the 320s and no, sorry, 620s and 630s that you saw. It's because, you know, crit chance is crit chance at the end of the day. So boom, 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 boom. That is 610. I love it. I love, bro, our damage without the increased crit rate is looking really good, because I remember we were at like 430 something and I've made some changes. So the fact we're now in the 600s like is absolutely insane. So love that there. I do, damn, I wish I had the number from when we didn't have the, oh God. I wish I had the number for the bracers. Is there something I can do to revert a little bit? I don't think there is. No, I can't revert. There's no way to revert. If I unequip, that's not fair. Because if I unequip this, not only do I unequip the actual piece of gear and all the bonuses, but I unequip the 5-piece set from my accessories. So yeah, but I should have known, because my damage was like, in my head, I was a little bit cocky. I was like, oh my God, I'm dealing 634 million right now. Like, that's actually crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go crazy. I should have known that the attributes were a little skewed, and that is the reason, because I was testing. The reason why I did that is because I was testing how important crit was. If you want to see, by the way, if you haven't done this, I'm gonna make a recommendation to you too. So if you are building your character, right, and you're just like, okay, how much damage am I missing out on the crit, right? Or how much damage am I missing out on low elemental? You can manipulate those stats in training mode so that you can see how much you're missing out on. So I was at about 80% crit, right? So when I add this 25, it puts me at 100. So I can see how much damage I'm missing out on average, you know, by just keep rotating my combo, and just see what the difference is between 0% and 25% increase, so that I can see like, wow, I really need to get my crit rate higher because I'm missing out on a lot of damage. And it was a lot. And then another thing that I was missing out on was the element, right? So how much increase do you get if your elemental is higher? So I had this on. I didn't have it on then, but I have, like, sometimes I'll put it on just to see, like, okay, this puts me at 237. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, my elemental has gotten way better than before. So this I wouldn't even do, because my goal is not 237 electro. But let's say you're at like 120 or 130 and you're like, man, how much damage would I be doing if I was at 180, right? Because, you know, your goal elemental should be about 190, 200 for your character overall, right? Your goal for your crit damage should be about, you know, 180 to 200, and your goal for crit, I'm telling you, if you want to deal damage, has to be 90 and above. After crits, after potions, and after food, right? You want to be above 90. If you're not above 90 and you're rocking a Tenebrous weapon, take it from me, you are, I've already said it mathematically so many times, but you are losing damage from Tenebrous. The whole point of this is to build stacks by constantly critting. So if you're not constantly critting, it means that the crits have to be dependable, because you lose a lot of stacks for non-crits. So if you're not critting, then you're losing a lot of damage there. So, but you can test to see how much damage you're missing out on. And what I was realizing is that when I was at 450 and I would stack my crit up, dude, I'd be at like 5 something. And I'm like, wow, I'm missing out on like, it's like 20% damage like right there. And then when I put the elemental, I was like, there's another 20, but I'm like, holy crap. So, you know, doing that really helped me see how important these stats are. And then I started to build those stats more specifically to get my damage up. So that's one of the ways that I use training mode to get better, and to continuously increase my damage. I am very, very, very happy where I'm at, but I still got a long way to go. Just to let you guys know, I plan on going famine bracers, okay? When I do get this piece, I get another 6% crit on top of the 5% crit from the ring. That is going to be a huge difference, because that's going to put my standing crit, right, is going to be at 86%, right? Then when I get into battle, it's going to be naturally 91%. With pot, I'm going to be at 94, and that's without Mind Wars. With Mind Wars, I'll be at 97. You see what I'm saying? With that, I can get off of the crit food, because right now I use this crit food right here, and it gives me 8% crit in battle, but it stops me from using the Sunday, which gives me 6% to debuff. So the fact that I'll be able to change foods, right? Because which food is better? Well, the 6% debuff food is better if your crit is where it's supposed to be. But if your crit's not where it's supposed to be, then the crit food is better, because it'll have a more overall impact on your damage with the Tenebrous weapon and the consistency of your damage, right? So that is one huge thing about getting my bracers and getting this ring upgrade, is that it takes my crit to that level where I need it to be. So I'm very excited about this upgrade. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and checked and peeped out the damage. I do apologize for messing up. Oh God, I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known that the that I increased my crit. Bro, why would it keep the changes once you left the training grounds? Like, if I come back into training grounds, bro, why do you still have my changes that I make to my, you know, whatever? I can see it. Like, I can see the benefits of it, and then this is the detriment of it. It's not that big of a deal. But you guys have seen, if you guys have watched my my training ground videos when I make an increase, and I'll be making another one soon because I have a couple more increases on what I make. You guys saw I was only at 430 on a rotation. I was at 3 something, then I increased to 4 something. Now I'm at 6 something. So the damage is going up. It's going up like crazy. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I am out of here. Let me know if you if this helps you, if this, you know, shows the power of the Filth set. It's a lot of power. It's very, very, very nice. Again, I apologize for not showing the before and after with the crit. The crit makes that big of a difference. Hopefully, if you don't know how important crit is, hopefully you know how important crit is after this video. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyways, I'm out of here. Peace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe. Head over to Twitch, follow Chovio6, where I do stream 3 or 4 times a week. See you there.